sitting here, you and me, like 2025, I'm a white guy, you're a black guy, we're both in the church. What are things that like you would try to encourage me in as a white pastor who comes from an evangelical Protestant space, who theologically, I want to hold tension for all of them. I'm not Reformed, but I certainly believe in the sovereignty of God. But I certainly believe in free will choice. I want to engage the world, but I also want to maintain my standards. I want to be both and wherever I can, but I've got to say, hey, this is sin, this is not. How would you encourage me, like, because I feel like after all that you've experienced, I think that your heart is really, really healthy and whole, but it's like there can be these little trigger words and things that people can do that you're like, that's kind of cringe, or that like doesn't make me feel safe. And I feel like what I want to learn how to do, and I know we can't reach everyone, but what were be like areas if you could like, whatever archetype I represent, you're like, yo, these are ways that you could try to create space to try to reach someone like Lecrae. When I say like Lecrae, I don't know, it's had your experience. I want to have a church that's multicultural. I don't want just white people in my church. I want black men in our church. I don't know. I feel like people don't ever ask that question enough, where it's like,
that's good.
How would you coach me in that? Like, yo, Rich.
I mean, if we're going to be real. If we're going to be really real, this is America. America has probably about 200 million white people. You have to recognize this is your country, right? This is your backyard. You are amongst the most influential people in the world, right? And you just got to know that. And with whoever has the most awareness has the most responsibility. So if you have that awareness, you have a responsibility to act upon that. And what I would say for somebody in that position is to make yourself a student, because what oftentimes it's like the rich and I just being real. I'm wealthy. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna deny that. I am, by American standards, global standards for sure, wealthy. Wealth can put blinders on us. Right? So power, influence, and wealth can put blinders on us. What wealth can put blinders on us is that because we spend so much time, my pastor said this to me one time, shout out to Pastor Lee Jenkins, he said, Lecrae, you smell like first class flights in green rooms. You don't smell like sheep. So you don't know what the sheep are up to. You don't know how the sheep think. You don't know how, because you're not around sheep. And it's like, you need to go serve somewhere where you don't get paid. Go volunteer at a place that's not expecting you. Go be in places where you're the student and not the teacher, where you got to learn about the environment and you got to grow from being amongst them. And that's what I would say to anybody who's in the seat that you sit in, right? Because the world is going to cater to you in ways you don't even realize. It makes Band-Aids thinking about you. Like, the Band-Aids are not my skin tone, they're your skin tone, right? When I get a microphone that's supposed to be skin tone, it's not my skin tone, it's your skin tone. So you're not even gonna see the areas that you can't see what you don't see. So you have to actually be active in saying, what don't I know? Let me go hang out in Little Haiti and just like, what happens here? What's the day? When I went to Africa, this is the dopest thing. I had some of my white brothers with me and we sat in Kenya and we said, be honest. What is the perspective of Americans here? Hold nothing back. And they said, all right, you see this glass. We will say this is glass. And an American will say, no, it's not, it's plastic. And we'll say, no, we're telling you it's glass. The American throws it against the ground, it shatters. And they say, that's the weirdest plastic I've ever seen. Like, you're so focused on it being the way you see it is. You can't, it couldn't possibly be what we said it is. And they were like, that's the American perspective. And they said, okay, well, give us your perspective on us as Americans. And I said, can I be honest? They said, yeah, be honest. I said, I feel like y'all are just chilling. Like, y'all aren't, there's no rush. It's like, it gets done when it gets done. There's no like quality of work that's like man, this is the best quality here. And I said, and
you told them that?
Yeah, I said that. And they said, okay, so think about it from this vantage point, Lecrae. In America, if you work at the airport and you do a stellar job, the way your infrastructure is set up, you're going to get a promotion and a raise. Here, there's no infrastructure that gives us a promotion or a raise for doing a stellar job or being quick or being proficient. So there's no incentive for doing things in the way that you like them done.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, shoot. But that changed my framework.
Yep.
Changed my worldview. So that's what I would say to you is like, man, be a student. Like, hey, man, let me go hang out in spaces and places that are unlike mine. Be a student. And again, and I am not the expert I'm not the cultural expert. But that's all I say is, man, be a student. Start asking questions, asking everybody.
Well, I'm asking because I think over the last 5 years in America, culturally speaking, when it comes towards race, politics, all of the massive things out there, the discussions on sexuality and gender. Yeah. Do you feel like, I'm thinking about two massive cultural moments from 2020 to even this year. Do you feel like we're doing better or we're more divided than ever? Because that's what I'm trying to struggle with. It's like, I want to be a part of bringing people together and getting better. And I know there's so many things we could weigh into, like, oh, maybe that's better, that's worse, but I don't know your general feeling.
No, I don't think much has changed. I think you could think we've gotten better because things weren't talked about. Okay. But it's like there was always a chasm. It's just that it's like a volcano. It was dormant. There was still fire in there. Yeah. It just takes something to ignite that fire. And I think the biggest problem for me with America is that America is human beings, especially Christians. Yeah. We do not take up residence in our past, but we do repent of our past. We do reflect on what we've done wrong, right? And I think America, for whatever reasons, it just doesn't want to do that. It's so afraid that we're taking up residence there. Let's live in the past.
Great language.
We're not trying to take a residence there. We're just trying to repent of it and grow from it and say, how can we be better? And I think that's where a lot of the tension lies, is because some people are saying, well, you're trying to make me feel terrible for things that's the past America, not today. And it's like, and some people may be trying to do that. But for those of us who are healthy, we're saying, no, let's just reflect on it so we don't repeat it. Yep. And let's figure out how to be better. And I think that's the biggest difference. So there's so many nuances and micro things that could be done. But I think it's, man, just giving those people a voice. You know, it's like, I'm a recovering misogynist, a recovering, objectifier of women. And the only way I've been able to grow is to give women the space to speak into my world.
There you go.
And to say, hey, tell me what I don't know. Let me be quiet and learn from you, It's very, very good. Yeah. If we don't learn from the past, we'll repeat it. That's right. That's right. We're bound to repeat it, and we're doomed by it. And I think that even confession like that, the way you just even did that right there, it's powerful that when you've been set free from something, you can talk about it. That's right. And our fear of talking about some of these things might be an indication that they still have a hold on us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I want to be a person in a city who's fighting for unity. Mm-hmm. Black people, white people, different genders, people on different sides of the political aisles. Mm-hmm. I can disagree without disrespecting you. Yeah. I can learn from everybody. I really think that's a beautiful thing. Every person I meet, I believe I can learn from them. That's right. I always say in my own life, it's like, I want to make people rich where they're poor. Mm-hmm. I like the pun there as well. But that means if I can do that for somebody, that means there's an area in my life that I'm poor in that Lecrae can make me rich in. We're not talking about money here for those that are wondering, but we have value that we can bring to it. Yeah. As we kind of come around a corner here, like, you've got a new record out called Reconstruction, which I think is in and of itself a massive statement. Mm-hmm. There's a whole movement out there these days that are deconstructing things. And this morning I was driving home from jiu-jitsu with my son, and we were talking about, he was seeing something be built, and we were talking about this space. We have a church that we're building right now, and they tore it down, and it's now like in the dirt. And he's like, Dad,
I guess no construction's happening, right? I said, well, there is, son. It's just destruction had to happen first. And now they're doing foundational work that you can't see. In fact, they're going to be there for a few more months. And then the construction will begin to happen, or the reconstruction, if you will.
That's right.
Talk about this record, this project, naming it that, what's going on in your life to make that kind of a statement, and what that all the way means for you. I don't want to even hijack its own metaphor or its own truth.
No, I think that's spot on. For me, I think that I had built a faith that was more cultural than biblical. And we all do that to some degree. Like people say all the time, like the Bible said it, I believe it, that settles it. And that's true, except the Bible said it, you interpreted it, and that should not settle it because you may have interpreted it wrong. And I think it's just being more open to saying, I may have seen some things wrong, and let me tear down those things and rebuild what's right. I think I built my faith on a solid foundation. Christ is the foundation. Yeah. But I built a house with no doors, and you can't get in or out. You know what I mean? And it's like, you walled yourself in, and that's not what God intended. God, and also, this is the scary part for a lot of people. The foundation is firm, but we may have to consistently tear some walls down. Yep. Like that's just a part of the faith. And
it's Romans 12. Got to renew your mind, aka renovate it.
And people get scared of that. They're like, wait. No, leave it as it is. And it's like, no, we gotta tear this wall down. We're learning, we're growing, things are changing. And the foundation is the same. We're not touching that. It's built on Christ. He's the cornerstone. He's the chief cornerstone. But reconstruction is learning that. Honestly, what happened was I thought I had it all figured out. I went through a crisis about almost 10 years ago. I took a trip to Egypt, and I saw books there about the faith that I'd never seen before, and authors I'd never heard of before. And I was like, I thought American was the center of the Christian kingdom.
I thought Dallas was our Mecca.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought Atlanta was.
This is a global faith.
Oh, yeah. There's these things called Coptic Christians.
Bro.
Wait, I think Mark was their first apostle, right? Like,
exactly. And you're like, I
want to teach them about communion, though.
Well,
it's just stupid. No, I'm just kidding. It's just like, yes.
That's a whole nother ball.
Well, I was just teaching a bunch of young preachers. It's like Protestants. I want to get back to this, but Protestants are so funny because even me, like I am this. I'm an egotistical like Protestant. It's like, let's go for unity, but don't involve the Catholics or the Coptics. It's like, you know how we started? We're the first original TikTok commenters. We're called protesters. What do you think Luther's 95 Thesis was? It was his critique. And so... I see the hypocrisy in myself. It's like I can get so mad at all the church reviews today. It's like, what do you think Luther did?
Yeah.
He protested. Yeah. And here today, we've got our own version of what we think communion is, and they won't let me have communion with them, and I think they're so wrong for that. But maybe they know something I don't know. It's like, can I be the bridge rather than keep closing the door?
That part. Can I be the bridge?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. Reconstruction is about understanding. I'm not turning into somebody who says, I accept everything that everybody brings to the table. But what I'm saying is that I don't see it all fully. And let me be open, right? There's a reason why for centuries people have thought this way and they think this way. For the Democrat and the Republican, like there are reasons that they see things the way that they see things. Do you understand why? Instead of just being upset at them the way that they vote. Like, do you even, can your brain even like, that makes sense why you would vote that way. That makes sense. I see that. Most people can't do that. So Reconstruction is about
very good
tearing those walls down and being open and having doors in my house that say, come in, Republican, Democrat, come in, come sit at the table. Let's share a meal together, and being open-handed and just saying, man, Jesus is bigger, and it's also for me because God is still teaching me how to see outside of. If I'm being honest. One of my best friends in the world, he's like, Lecrae, I've been going to these deliverance ministries and it's been changing my life. You gotta come. And I said, bro, I've been reading Jesus saying he can't do any miracles in his hometown because of their lack of faith. And I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think some of the abuse that I've seen, I struggle with the deliverance ministry. Like I want to believe, but I'm coming in with such a skeptical mindset. I don't know if the Lord will allow me to see what I need to see. So I'm like, even me, I'm saying to myself, reconstruct me, Lord.
Yes.
Because there's things I don't see and things I know I should believe. Like, why can't God? What would stop him from delivering somebody? Like, what? What are you talking about? But, it's like I need God to remove the scales from my eyes to heal the trauma in my own life. So
I heard Judah Smith years ago. He came into VuCon. I think it might have been 2018 or 19. He preached a message called "I Was Wrong," and it's a powerful thought because for some reason I think we're so afraid at admitting, "Hey, I didn't have that part right," and I want to get better at that. I think that is a form of maturity to go, you know what? God is really big. And I'm not talking about heresy. Come on, I've been quoting this all month long with the Augustine quote, which is, it's like, in essentials, unity, non-essentials, liberty, in all things, charity. But a lot of things that we get really, really, the hill we want to die on is a non-essential.
That's right.
And it's okay to say, I was wrong.
That's right.
In fact, I think if you're actually growing, how could you not be?
Yeah.
I gave my life radically over to Jesus, and I'm going to follow this call at 17 years of age. Man, like, if he's really active in my life, my wife's, not that God changes, but I changed. My wife is not the same person I married when I was 21, 22. Neither am I.
That's
we have
right.
to grow together.
That's right.
God is unchanging, but our perspective and our framework and the glasses that we're viewing the world, and even what you just said, I had a teacher tell me, I can't disagree with you until I first agree with you. And all it means is that, like, I totally understand your argument, or I'm at least giving space to understand your perspective, and I want to seek to understand before I seek to be understood. And if you're going to do it the Jesus way, they all can come to the table. And that's what I get nervous about today, is just the lines that we're drawing that we can't break bread.
Yeah,
and I'm still an idealist, even at 41 years of age. I really think we could solve a lot of problems if we could just have a meal together.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we could solve a lot of things in a conversation eye to eye, and we can go, oh, I understand your pain, and let's agree in a cordial way, in a kind way, that we're still brothers.
I'm an idealist too, then.
I believe it. Hey, it's Rich, and you're listening to the Mature Me podcast, weekly content devoted to all things life, leadership, culture, and faith. Thank you for taking some time to tune in. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on all our social channels so you don't miss a thing.